2025 Tundra. Or get 2.99% 48-month financing on a new Tacoma SR or SR5. To check out great deals on your favorite Toyota, visit your Valley Toyota dealer or valleytoyotadealers.com today. Toyota, let's go places. 1.75% with $14.64 per thousand borrowed for 72 months. 2.99% with 22.
AM 1060 KDUS Tempe Phoenix and KSLX HD2 Scottsdale Phoenix.
Welcome everyone under the lights at Mountain America Stadium.
Boy, look at this stadium. If you're not here, shame on you.
There's a long history of this facility. This is one of the biggest games ever played here.
This is the biggest game for these players, the biggest game for the city, the program, and even the Valley.
Go up and go get it, young man. What a catch. Intercepted.
Buy your season tickets, because why would you not want to be in that environment?
Arizona State Sun Devil football. Buy your season tickets now at sundevils.com.
These lawyers say they treat clients like family while secretly putting mandatory settlement quotas on their lawyers.
We never set settlement quotas. We measure success by achieving each client's best outcome.
Do your research. Call the husband and wife law team first.
Turn up the action at Arizona's hottest casinos. The Diamond Rewards Card from Desert Diamond Casino is the only club where you can earn exclusive benefits like free play, dining, and so much more. Just one card unlocks all 5 dazzling locations, including the brand new Desert Diamond White Tanks. One club, 5 destinations. The Diamond Rewards Club at Desert Diamond Casino.
An enterprise of the Donna Austin Nation.
Bet with your head, not over it. Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP.
Things today can seem kind of unpredictable. Who knows what's around the corner, right? Well, at Total Wireless, we want to give you something to be sure about. With us, you save 50% off Metro and Cricket when you switch with one line. Guaranteed. And you get to keep the phone and number you love. Visit our Total Wireless store today. 50% savings for unlimited plans versus comparable Total Wireless unlimited phone plans based on standard plan rates. Some customers may only receive the guaranteed savings after contacting us and validating the current plan rate. Excludes promotional, discounted, and bring your phone rates. For total 5G unlimited plan or higher, auto pay required. Applied on next renewal date. Additional terms apply.
September 11th reminds us of a day when America stood under attack and stood together. We remember the victims, the heroes, and the everyday citizens who showed extraordinary courage. That same spirit of resilience lives in our Constitution. The Second Amendment protects our right to defend our families, our homes, and our nation. This is Michael with Restore My Civil Rights. If you've lost constitutional rights due to a past conviction, we can help restore them. For a free consultation, visit RestoreMyCivilRights.com. That's RestoreMyCivilRights.com.
Global Credit Union, how can I help you?
It's one of those voice prompts.
Representative! Good morning. How can I help?
Wait, is this a real person?
It's 2 a.m.
We're here to help members 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year.
Impossible.
At Global, possible. Learn more at globalcu.org. Global Credit Union, your world of financial possibilities.
AM 1060 KDUS Tempe Phoenix and KSLX HD2 Scottsdale Phoenix. It's the lunch break.
A disappointing loss yesterday for the Arizona Cardinals, but a short week and a short turnaround as they are back in action this Thursday. Welcome in the Monday edition of the Lunch Break right here on KDUS AM 1060. Streaming on the KDUS AM 1060 app. You can also watch the program over on the KDUS AM 1060 YouTube channel. Chris Schubert with you for the next 2 hours. On this Monday edition of the show, producer Evan is on the other side of the glass. He's ready to take your phone calls, 480-864-1060, if you want to jump into the conversation here today. And yes, we will start with what happened yesterday on the football field because we called this game a test for the Arizona Cardinals. And unfortunately, I think there's only one way to look at it.
Time for our top story of the day. It's the Daily Special.
They failed the test. The Rams lost earlier in the day. It was on a silver platter for them. A win, 3-0, a divisional contest going their way, and the Arizona Cardinals would have sat alone atop the NFC West standings, feeling pretty good about themselves through 3 weeks. And what could have been an ugly win that would have set you up nicely for a divisional matchup on a short week is now an ugly, disappointing, frustrating loss that has all of us asking a lot of questions today. And unfortunately, many of them are the same questions we've been asking in some cases for 7 years, in some cases for 2 years, in other cases for 3 years, meaning these are not new questions that we are asking ourselves here today on a Monday. And I just can't help but go back to this overarching 10,000-foot view statement. You faced a banged-up 49ers team yesterday that was missing their starting quarterback, that was missing their top receiving options, both in the tight end department and in the wide receiver department. They lost defenders throughout the course of the game, and you couldn't close out an ugly win when you had the ball with 3 minutes to go in the fourth quarter, leading 15-13. That's really what this game boils down to, no? As ugly as it was, as frustrating and disappointing as the offense was for 4 quarters, and trust me, I have plenty to say on everybody involved in the offense. You had the ball with 3 minutes to go, holding a 2-point lead. All you had to do was gain 2 first downs, and we would be talking about a 3-0 football team, and we would not be harping on the offensive woes that this team had. We would call it for what it is, an ugly win on the road against a divisional opponent. We're not going to hand out style points for it, but you're somehow 3-0. You're leading this division, and now you're coming home for a short week matchup on Thursday against the Seattle Seahawks. That's how we would have started the show today, but your offense couldn't get 2 first downs. Zay Jones couldn't catch a pass on 3rd and 9 that would have sealed the game. The Cardinals only scored 1 touchdown yesterday in that game. Offensively, they continue to be a massive liability to the ceiling of this football team. Because you got the defensive game you needed yesterday. For 3 weeks, we can say the defense is showing up. The defense is doing their part. Calais Campbell continues to be all over the place, making plays for the Arizona Cardinals. You held a banged-up 49ers team to 16 points yesterday, and it wasn't good enough to win. You won the time of possession battle, which we know is very central to what Jonathan Gannon wants to do offensively. Still wasn't enough to win the football game. You won the turnover battle. You didn't turn the ball over. You still didn't win the football game. Why? Because the offense continues to be an issue. You want some numbers? You want some data? You want to be...
I'm a huge nerd.
Today to start the program? Here you go. 4.1 yards per play yesterday. 3.8 yards per rush yesterday. Is that going to get it done? Is that the type of offense? We clearly know the answer now is no. You can't score 17 points with those types of numbers. You were 1 for 3 in the red zone yesterday. For the season, you're 16th in yards per carry. You're 24th in yards per pass attempt. 18.5% of the Cardinals' possessions this season have ended in touchdowns. That's 25th in the league. This isn't just a below-average offense. This is one of the worst offenses in the league. And I don't want to do the blame pie before we give out the blame pie, and we're debating on a short week when to give it out. But there's a lot of blame to go around on why these offensive numbers are this poor. There's a lot of reason why this offense feels like it is stuck in slow motion. They don't have a wide receiver too. Producer Evan, I don't mean to put you on the spot here in the opening block of the program, but do you know, wide receiver-wise, who is the second leading receiver on the Cardinals?
Is it Trey Benson?
No, just among receivers.
Oh, just among receivers.
You know who number 1 is. Who is number 2?
Yeah, is it Greg Dortch?
It's Zay Jones.
It's Zay Jones.
Do you want to know how many total yards Zay Jones has through 3 games as the second leading receiver among the wide receiver room for the Cardinals? He has 29.
And by the way, 25 of them came yesterday.
Thank you. You beat me to my next point. 25 of them came yesterday. You've got receivers dropping passes in big spots. I think Marvin Harrison Jr. could still be running on that touchdown that he dropped in the middle of the field. The game is over if Zay Jones makes that catch on 3rd and 9. Yesterday, this team missed Paris Johnson at the left tackle, and I'm wondering if they need Will Hernandez back in at right guard because they could not run the ball. They are struggling to move the football. They don't run a single quarterback design run. This is where the frustration comes in for me. You have an offense that, let's face it, cannot move the ball. They are struggling. They're trying to open it up by throwing the ball down the field. The running game is leaving a lot to be desired. Some of it is the personnel groupings that they're putting out there. Some of it is the blocking. If you haven't noticed, I spent this morning watching the All-22, and I'm more angry about the game than I was yesterday because they didn't run a quarterback-designed run until 3 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. After the safety, after they had the 15-13 lead, and they had the ball, the first play on that drive was a quarterback run for Kyler in which he scrambled and picked up 9 yards to set up 2nd and short. That, with 3:10 to go in the fourth quarter, was the first quarterback design run. You have a running game that can't get anywhere. Before James Conner got hurt, and trust me, we're going to have plenty of thoughts and reaction to that today on the show. With Trey Benson in the game, didn't matter. You couldn't run the football. Perhaps utilizing the skill set of the former number 1 overall pick, who you have under center, where that is one of his greatest strengths, is his legs, his mobility, his ability to run the football. And you don't go to it on a quarterback design run until you're trying to ice the game. That could have maybe opened up some avenues in the running game early. The intentional grounding call that Kyler got was brutal. Trey Benson's just wide open to pick up the first down. I mean, there are mistakes littered all over the tape yesterday for this offense. And it continues to be the same conversation that we had last year. This offense, I hate to say it, we reserve this phrase for the teams, the units, the groups that are absolutely brutal, but it belongs today for this team. This Cardinals offense stinks out loud. That's how bad they were yesterday. Your defense plays a near perfect game, and you can't score 17 points. You have the ball up 2 with 3 minutes to go, and you can't ice the game. The touchdown drive that you had, aided a little bit by a pass interference call. You did have some nice plays, and I'll tell you, that's a place that you'd like to give the offense credit. The 49ers score their first touchdown of the game. They take a lead. You immediately respond with a touchdown. Immediately. Those are the drives we talked about before the season started, about grading Kyler. How do you handle those types of situations? Yesterday, they handled that situation perfectly, but they couldn't ice the game with 3 minutes to go. The running game is not there, and they're not doing anything to adjust for it. The passing game, I thought there were some open plays. You got Marvin Harrison Jr. dropping a touchdown. DeMarcado dropped what could have been a touchdown during the game. I mean, you got guys with the dropsies, the yips. You've got Kyler not making plays. You have miscues like the intentional grounding. And I'm sorry, this offense is not good enough. They play Seattle on Thursday. Seattle defensively is really good. They're going to have to find a way to score points. And I don't know how you feel. They scored 5 offensive touchdowns in 3 games. 5.
This isn't one game either. That's the scary part, right? This isn't, okay, the offense looked bad against San Fran. They lost the game, but thought they were effective in Carolina. Thought they were effective in New Orleans. No, they haven't been effective at all. And to be honest with you, it's getting worse. It has gotten worse from week to week. You have had opportunities in every game to put away the game, and you haven't. You are 2 plays away, in all seriousness, from losing and being 0-3 because you had the Saints on the ropes. You couldn't put them away, so you gave them a drive to try and win the game late.
And I am I believe they would have gone for 2.
You had the opportunity to put Carolina away. You threw a pick in the red zone, then you went 3 and out. And guess what? Carolina had the ball with a chance to win the game. And yesterday, you had up to 2 minutes left, San Fran with no timeouts. And if you complete a crossing pattern, you win the football game, and you couldn't do it. And guess what? That's losing football. You have had the opportunity to lose all 3 games. They are seriously 3 plays away from being 0-3, and none of it is acceptable.
I'll tell you what, I anticipate the call from Danny today. I mean, I anticipate the phone call at some point throughout the program. He said this last week when he called in and said, Chris, I don't see it. I don't see it. They're 2-0. They barely beat New Orleans. They barely beat Carolina. They're going up against. Now, but here's the problem. Here's where this gets really frustrating. That's the backup quarterback for San Francisco. They didn't have George Kittle. They didn't have Brandon Ayuk. Juwan Jennings didn't play. They lost Bosa throughout the course of the game, and you still couldn't do anything against this football team. You have to win football games like that. You have to find a way to win those games. You have a 2-point lead with 3 minutes to go late, and you moved. You picked up one of the 2 first downs. You then ran it 2 straight times, didn't get a whole lot, 3rd and 9. You drew up the perfect play. You had 2 receivers open on that play. Do yourself a favor. I know everyone's focusing on the Zay Jones drop. Michael Wilson's wide open on the play. Probably picks up 15 to 20. The play was the right call. They designed, this is where the blame gets shared among everybody. And again, I'm not doing the blame pie before we do the blame pie. But everyone wants to get on Drew Petzing here today, and he's going to be a major talking point over the next 3 days. And whether or not Thursday is a spot where he is coaching for his job. And I don't know if today's the day for us to weigh in on that. I'm sure we'll weigh in on it before we get to Thursday because I have very strong opinions on that. But today is just about what happened in the game yesterday. And he drew the perfect play. Had 2 receivers open. Both of them pick up the first down. Kyler makes a good throw. Zay Jones has to catch the football. And you just wonder, if you had a better wide receiver too, does he catch that ball? And are the Cardinals 3-0 right now? And none of what we're talking about is a storyline. That's the thing that I can't get out of my head here today.
Do you know what's infuriating? Is first of all, I think it's the wrong read on the throw. And I think it might be the first read. But Michael Wilson is open from the jump. When you watch the play, he is open from the jump. And yes, he's short of the sticks. And that would be my only reason to why you probably waited to give a hold to get to Zay Jones, who's it's a simple crossing levels pattern. And I couldn't believe he didn't throw it to Michael Wilson. But then 2, you did throw it. You still had him open, and he drops it.
Yeah, it's hard to know without sitting next to Petzing and going through what the play call actually calls for, because both receivers are running basically the same route. They're just running them at different depths. And so, and they're both in Kyler's line of sight. So when I watched the clip again this morning, when I watched the all 22 of it, it's hard because he's looking at both of them. So you would think he sees Michael Wilson with all that green grass in front of him. But if the read is, and again, you never want your quarterback in that spot throwing it short of the sticks, because that's a fair criticism. If he throws it short and they pick up 7 instead of 9, it's like, well, why didn't you throw it to the guy?
Well, you would have to imagine it comes back, like it's the depth, right?
I tend to think so. I tend to think that the first read is the guy that you know is running the route to the sticks. And if it's not there, you look at the underneath. I think it is Zay Jones is the primary read and Michael Wilson is the secondary read. So I'm not going to get on Kyler for the read. The point of bringing up that play in particular, not just because it's the play that swings the game, but it also was a perfectly designed play. Both guys are wide open. So this is why it's not all on Drew Petzing. This is why it's not all on Kyler Murray. It is a big stew. It is a big soup of disappointment for this team offensively, and they have to figure this out because they played Carolina and they played New Orleans the first 2 weeks of the season. Now they're stepping up. They're playing the big boys now. They played San Francisco, even though they were banged up. How'd it work out for them? They've got Seattle on a short week. Seattle's looked very impressive. I know they were our worst team when we did the power rankings in the summer. They have impressed me with the way that they've played through the first 3 weeks. That is not going to be easy. And you are staring 2-2 directly in the face. And I'll tell you what, 2-2 with the 2 wins being close calls against Carolina and New Orleans feels a lot differently than 3-1 with a divisional win in your back pocket. That's what's on the line for this team on Sunday. The offense let this team down once again on Sunday. this offense once again didn't execute in a big moment. And I think everybody shares the blame, but that's the difference between us feeling great about a 3-0 team at the top of this division that went in on the road, got an ugly win, coming back home, short week, potentially staring 4-0 in the face. Instead, all of the warts, all of the question marks about this team are staring us directly in the face. 480-864-1060 is the phone number for you to join us here today on the program. I know you probably feel some type of way about how the Cardinals played yesterday. Would love to hear from you today on the program. We have much more coming. We've got a James Conner injury that we didn't talk about. We got to talk more about what happened to Marvin Harrison Jr. yesterday, having the dropsies in that game. It was basically everybody having the dropsies in the game yesterday for the Arizona Cardinals. So much more on this game as the show unfolds. But when we come back, 6 games to go. They are just 1 game out of a playoff spot. Can they do the unthinkable? That's next. The lunch break. KDUS AM 1060.
KDUS AM 1060 is your home for the Jim Rome Show.
Something Mark Cuban said, but at this point, he's pretty much the last one claiming that Ballmer is innocent, aside from Ballmer and the Clippers. Cuban is not convincing anybody of anything. Neither are the Clippers, and neither is Adam Silver. They're all just making it worse. Just like when Ballmer made it worse when he ran to ESPN and put on his Mickey Mouse falsetto voice to claim, "They caught me."
1 to 4 p.m. Monday through Friday here on KDUS AM 1060 and on the KDUS 1060 app.
Live the horror at Universal Studios Hollywood Halloween Horror Nights. Select nights September 4th to November 2nd. Face your fears in post-apocalyptic LA in a haunted house based on the hit show Fallout and more. Event not recommended for children under 13.
Phoenix, are you ready to ascend? Bring Me the Horizon, USA Ascension Program, Part 1.
Every sky will build, my friend.
Taking over Footprint Center, October 2nd, with special guest
Crawling from hell.
Motionless in White, The Plot in You, and Amira El Fiki. On sale now at livenation.com. Bring Me the Horizon, presented by the Big Red Radio.
I'm Bree.
I'm Sean.
And we are the Berquist family. We are repeat Fulton customers, and we've lived in a Fulton community for 6 years. We had been looking for a home, and so we walked into the Fulton community, and we were just absolutely blown away. When we walked into the model home, we noticed the high ceilings, the beautiful kitchen, the flooring, and the floor plan. We knew it was a place where we were going to raise our family.
And on top of that, we have a swimming pool and a good location here.
When you say the word community, you have to be able to see it and feel it. And so when you have your neighbors, you feel that community because you become friends, and it even feels like family, like a family community. And that is something that is priceless and can last a lifetime. We absolutely would recommend a Fulton home to our friends and family.
Fulton Homes. You're proud to own, we're proud to build.
Fall savings have arrived at Mark Mazda in Scottsdale. Right now, you can receive $10,000 off the top of MSRP when you lease a brand new 2025 Mazda CX-70 or CX-90 plug-in hybrid.
The name to remember, Mark Mazda, Mark Mazda. On approved credit plus $998.
Jim Rome here with your Rome Report. Let's go to Birmingham, Alabama. Coop, good to have you. What's up, dude?
Rome, what it do?
What it do?
My weekend was just as ass. Anyways, I think Tua's main dominant hand is actually his right arm. I think we should try that out this week, maybe throwing it from the right side. But in terms to the Florida Gators, it was a pain to see DJ Lagway throw as many picks as Brian Kelly's foot measures. Allegedly, he wears a size 5, and seeing his gummy bear scrotum face smile after the game made me sick. I'm out, Rome.
Did you say that Brian Kelly has a gummy bear scrotum face and a size 5 foot? Wow. You know what? I don't know what the hell that means. I just know you got yourself a card. Give him the Jaden Daniels card. You see? How easy was that? I'm Jim Rome. You can follow me on Instagram at Jim Rome. Football season is back on Prize Picks. You and I make decisions every day, but on Prize Picks, being right can get you paid. So don't miss any of the action this season with Prize Picks, where it's going to be right. Download the Prize Picks app today. Use my code ROAM and get $50 in bonus credit instantly in lineups when you play $5. That's code ROAM on Prize Picks to get $50 bonus credit instantly in lineups when you play $5. Win or lose, you'll get $50 bonus credit in lineups just for playing. It's guaranteed. Prize Picks. It's good to be right. You do have to be present in certain states. Visit prizepicks.com for restrictions and details.
I'm Scott Hansen, host of NFL Red Zone. Lowe's knows Sundays are for football. That's why we're here to help you get your next DIY project done, even when the clock isn't on your side. Whether that's a new Filtrete filter or Bosch and Cobalt power tools, Lowe's has everything you need to feel like the MVP of DIY. So get it done and earn your Sunday. Shop now, in-store and online. Lowe's, official partner of the NFL.
It's the Sports Zoo.
The Cardinals 2-0, actually not surprising. I would not be shocked if the Cardinals started 5-2, 6-1. And if you want to get drunk on the Bird Gang, why not say that they can then beat Green Bay? Why not beat Green Bay that day at home in front of your crowd? Now you get San Fran and San Fran, which, we thought would be a really tough game. But, no Brock Purdy, I don't think. We'll see.
Live weekdays from 5 to 6 p.m. here on KDUS AM 1060 and on the KDUS 1060 app.
Much more on the Arizona Cardinals' loss yesterday to the San Francisco 49ers. But if you'll indulge me for just a second, I think it's fair to take a brief time out. There's 6 games left in the baseball calendar, and the Arizona Diamondbacks are in the middle of a playoff chase. Because, yes, we start the week with the Diamondbacks sitting just 1 game out of a playoff spot. They take 2 of 3 over the weekend from Philadelphia. And while it is still, and I'll give you the math here in just a second, very math-heavy start to the program, Producer Evan. You notice that on a Monday? Very math-heavy.
I have noticed that, but I just think it's the nature of the game here as we get to the end of the baseball season.
A lot of numbers from yesterday's football game.
And I just think the numbers are so glaringly bad from the football game.
Yeah.
You have to share them.
I'm just saying, very, very mathy start to the Monday. So I apologize in advance. Hopefully you're sitting down and you have your calculator handy. But they took 2 out of 3 over the weekend from the Phillies and went from 2 games. Remember, when we left here on Friday, it was a 2-game deficit. It's now just a 1-game deficit. The Reds and Mets are tied for that 3rd and final spot in the National League wild card race. And this is where the math looks a little daunting for the Diamondbacks. If the Reds go 2-4 or better in their final 6, the Diamondbacks need to go at least 4-2. So if the Reds go 2-4, Diamondbacks need to go at least 4-2. If the Reds go 3-3, Diamondbacks have to go 5-1. You see how it gets a little challenging here. If the Reds go 4-2, Diamondbacks have to go 6-0 here with the Dodgers and Padres, the last 2 teams on their schedule. If the Mets go 3-3 or better, the Diamondbacks need to go at least 4-2. So with 6 games to go for the Arizona Diamondbacks, the math here is pretty simple. You have to win at least 4 of 6, and that still might not be good enough. But the bare minimum is you have to win 4 of 6 the rest of the way. This continues to just be 1 game at a time for the Diamondbacks. You can't worry about what the Reds are doing, what the Diamondbacks are doing, what the Reds are doing, what the Mets are doing. You can't worry about any of that. You got to focus on what the Diamondbacks are doing. You have to go out there and worry about what you can control. And what you can control is your record. You can control going 4-2, 5-1, even 6-0 over these final 6 games and putting that pressure on the Reds and the Mets. Because the Reds, they face the Pirates and a Brewers team that has clinched everything. So not necessarily the most daunting 6 games that the Reds are going to have here down the stretch. The Mets have a Chicago team that basically has everything locked up that they can fight for, and a Marlins team that, while out of it, is playing some pretty good baseball as of late. You have the hardest schedule, obviously, of the 3 teams facing the Dodgers and the Padres. But you got to play all the games. And you have to control what you can control. Focus on your wins and your losses, and then let the chips fall where they may. But just think about the world we live in right now. That on Monday, September 22nd, after being sellers at the deadline, the Diamondbacks are one game out of a playoff spot. There's a world where this comes down to the final day of the regular season once again for this team. Wild and crazy to think about.
This is a wild photo finish here at the end.
One that we did not expect.
I mean, 2 weeks ago, we were saying it looks like it's the Mets. Nobody else in the National League is really going to compete. We're in a situation now where we have 3 teams fighting for one spot, all within a game of each other. It's going to come down to a tiebreaker, and it really feels like that in the National League.
One game at a time, one day at a time. Focus. Don't be scoreboard watching too much. Go out there, win the game, then focus on where that leaves you in the standings. Because if you don't go at least 4-2, it doesn't matter what the Reds and Mets do, because they're going to probably be able to win enough games to get in there. 480-864-1060, the phone number for you to join us here today on the program. When we come back, it is the Week 3 NFL Rewind. We go across the NFL. I give you my instant thoughts on all the games that we saw played yesterday. We'll do it next. It's the lunch break, KDUS, AM 1060.
Ready to tackle each morning with the best sports information coming at you?
I'm going to take a logical approach.
Get that weekday mornings on KDUS AM 1060 from 6 to 9 a.m. with the Dan Patrick Show. Dan Patrick, the Danettes, sports icons, sports legends, celebrities, poll questions. The Dan Patrick Show has it all.
It's a crapshoot.
Be sure to lock your dials to AM 1060 or 100.7 HD2 from 6 to 9 a.m. Mornings just got better.
This story is about us.
If you could rewind 10 years, what would you do differently? Buy Apple stock at $20? Skip the ghost pepper challenge? Maybe even rethink the skinny jeans. Nate here, owner of Blue Sky Pest Control. Some regrets are harmless, termite damage isn't. You can't go back in time, but you can keep termites from eating your future. Call 602-BLUE-SKY today for your free termite inspection. Hello, Blue Sky. Goodbye, pests.
At Nationwide Vision, we help you step into every moment clearly and confidently. From quality eyewear and comfortable contact lenses to comprehensive exams and professional fittings, we make finding your focus a more enjoyable experience than ever. Right now, buy one pair of glasses and get the second one free, so you can live bolder, look sharper, and see better. Schedule an appointment today to find your focus.
Prepare for the Maximum Fun Tour. A day to remember. Yellow Card. Talking Stick Resort Amphitheater, Saturday, October 25th. Special guests, The Wonder Years and Dinosaur Pileup. Tickets from $30. On sale now at livenation.com. A day to remember. Yellow Card. Part of the American First Credit Union Concert Series.
We are getting ready to crown a champion.
Championship weekend is coming back to the desert.
Let's get this party started.
4 title races in 3 days means there will be a buzz in the air all weekend long, whether from the grandstands, the infield experience, or the hillside. This is your chance to witness history and make championship caliber memories for the whole family. NASCAR Championship Weekend at Phoenix Raceway, October 31st through November 2nd. Get your tickets now at phoenixraceway.com. Ticketmaster, the official ticketing partner of NASCAR.
Summer's here, and SRP wants to remind you that swim safety starts with W. That's right, W, as in Water Watcher. Keep pool time a good time by designating an adult who can swim and knows CPR. Be sure they avoid distractions, always scan the swimming area, and ensure that the pool gate stays locked. Assigning a water watcher is a simple step to help prevent drownings and keep everyone safe around pools. To get more water safety tips, visit srp.net/pool.
Hi, Luis Gonzalez here. Want to bet? Feel the thrill of Casino Arizona with 1,400 of the hottest slots and nonstop table game action. We make winners, no experience necessary. Join us for the best bingo in the valley with daily sessions. Indulge in all-you-can-eat Eagles Buffet or enjoy fine dining experience at the award-winning Choya Steakhouse. Enjoy top-notch local entertainment, tribute bands, and viewing parties at CAZ Sports Bar, just off the 101 in McKellips. Casino Arizona, uniquely Arizona.
James Out West, your desert destination for sports here in the Valley.
You've seen Shador. We've all seen him. He's, kind of everybody gravitates toward him.
He's got aura.
There we go. Thank you, as the young kids say. He's just there doing his job. He shows up early. He stays late. He's not posting it on social media to post it on social media to say, look at me. What you see is when he shows up to a neighborhood in which just got burned down, the apartment complex, and he sets up food trucks. I can't wait to see what happens for him, and I think that they have a good foundation for the future.
It's James Out West, every other Monday night from 6 to 7 p.m., right here on KDUS AM 1060 and on the KDUS 1060 app.
Buy or sell coming up 15 minutes or so from now, but it is the Week 3 NFL Rewind. We go across the National Football League, recapping all of the games. Producer Evan, guide us through the Week 3 NFL Rewind.
I'm going to be your captain through these waters of the NFL in Week 3.
The seas, they were choppy yesterday.
And it starts in Cleveland, where the waters were rough.
Oh, my goodness.
Cleveland with the upset of the week in a 13-10 thriller.
I don't know if I would describe that football game as a thriller. But yes, the Browns did pull off the upset, and they pulled it off because the defense is just so impressive. Joe Flacco and that offense, they're not going to score a ton of points. They're going to have to win every game like that. And so that's why it's not super sustainable. But the defense playing that well is sustainable. They're talented. They're a good group. But it's just they had all of the answers to the test against that Packers offensive line. Jordan Love. I mean, the boat capsized.
That defense is going to win Browns the games they should not this year. It starts with this one against Green Bay, and it does feel as if there's just going to be one or two games where Flacco gets a little hot, and they may win some games they shouldn't. It starts this week, and I thought there was a chance they could cover the spread. I did not think they would win this game, and they did. And
my 2-point play.
Everybody was Packers with how they looked through 2 weeks. That is a classic NFL trap game.
By the way, won the week for picks. It was a bad week across the board. I got one pick right. You got one pick right. Team listener, nothing. 0. So it is 2-1 for the show. I hit my 3-point play. You hit your 1-point play. So I opened up 2 more points of distance.
Yeah, so you have 11 points. I have 7.
A great week for me. The show won. I won. It was great.
The Colts head to Nashville and get a 3-touchdown win, 41-20 over the Titans.
Do you have it on the board there?
I do.
This is me on Friday talking about this game. Colts should win
I just
by
want to be
30.
very clear. It's as bad as I've ever seen.
Okay? They should win by 30. And guess what? If they win by 30, you know what I'm going to say during the rewind on Monday? I have no idea what to do with the Indianapolis Colts. I don't know if I should put them in the Schubert scale. I'm not sure what to do with them. I mean, it wasn't 30. It was 21. But I feel the same way that I did on Friday. That's what you're supposed to do. By the way, the Titans, I don't normally advocate for this when you take a quarterback number 1 overall, but get rid of Brian Callahan. It's not working. He stinks. Stinks out loud. He is not a good head coach.
There's a lot of fear that thing can go off the rails pretty quickly.
Off the rails. It already is off the rails.
You're 0-3 and just lost by 3 touchdowns at home
to
against
Indiana
the Colts.
Jones and the Indianapolis Colts.
It's the greatest nickname in sports right now.
Boy, I got to tell you, having Jonathan Taylor on my fantasy team the last couple of years, because I'm in a keepers league, I've had him. It's been kind of up and down. This version of Jonathan Taylor in this offense
looks great.
It's great.
He looks
really good.
Awesome. Speaking of looking awesome, the Vikings took it to the Bengals at home this weekend, a 48-10 final, and Carson Wentz's first start as a Viking.
A great win for those of us that believe Kevin O'Connell is the best head coach in football. That's the type of performance that wins you the Coach of the Year award. You made Carson Wentz look like a starter in the NFL again.
Another little thing to touch on this game, Isaiah Rodgers. I mean, how do we not get out of this game without talking about Isaiah Rodgers, 2 defensive touchdowns, but on top of that, is the highest graded player in Pro Football Focus history, received a 99.9.
He was great. 2 turnovers, the touchdown return. He had almost as many yards as the Bengals did offensively. I'm worried about the Cincinnati team. We said this game was important even though they had the 2-0 start. If they're going to continue to play like that, it's going to get ugly quickly.
Jake Browning.
Or Jack Browning, depending on if you're Adam Schefter.
Go trade for somebody. It might be time.
Go trade for Kirk Cousins?
Go get Jameis.
Kirk Cousins over Jameis. Trade for Russ. He's going to be available here pretty soon. We'll get to that in a second. We'll get to that in a second.
Steelers head to New England and get a 21-14 win over the Patriots. Aaron Rodgers throws for number 509. Officially passes Brett Favre in the all-time touchdown.
The offense for the Steelers wasn't very good in this game. Patriots turned the ball over a ton. Fumbles left and right. It was Ramondre Stevenson. I believe his was at the goal line. It was Antonio Gibson on the ensuing possession offensively. I mean, if they don't give the entire offense running game-wise over to Travion Henderson, what are we doing? The other 2 backs are just coughing up the football.
And the situational football from the Patriots
so
was
bad.
I mean, when they hired Mike Vrabel, you would think that stuff would start to clean itself up. It really has not.
Problem.
It's been a huge problem for them. It lost them this football game.
I mean, the Steelers won the turnover battle, 4-0?
4-0.
And they only won by 7 points.
Yeah. There's concerns in Pittsburgh, too.
Offensively, they were not very good yesterday.
No, not at all. Not at all. Rams travel to Philadelphia where they had a big lead at halftime coming out of the third quarter, 26-7. Eagles go on a 26 unanswered point streak, 33-26 Philadelphia.
Let me get this out of the way. Credit to your team for the way that they played in the second half. That's not where I want to focus. This is a really bad loss for McVay and the Rams.
I was just about to say that. It is, as impressive as it is from the Eagles, this is a colossal fall apart from the Rams. This is a really bad loss.
You could have come out of this game the top and the talk of the NFC West, and winning that game in convincing fashion, the way it was trending early on through the first, 2.5 quarters, we would have talked about you like the best team in the NFC today. There's a world where they would have been inside the top 3 of the Schubert scale later on in the week.
There's a world with how the Packers played this weekend, and there's a world where the Rams up 26-7. If that game keeps going that way, we could have seriously put them at 1.
The Packers lost, so they were going to drop out of the 1 spot. Spoiler alert. The Eagles were on their way to losing. Buffalo was going to march to the 1 spot, and I don't know who I was going to put at number 2. I really don't.
It was a serious conversation.
Yeah.
Serious conversation.
That was a bad one for McVay and the Rams. A lot of time to get up from it, but man, you had the defending champs on the ropes. You had a statement marquee victory, and you just absolutely gave it away. Also, there's blocked kicks all over the place.
I was going to say
2 in this game, 1 in the Browns-Packers game.
The Buccaneers-Jets.
We haven't gotten to that one yet.
That's my next game, and that was what I was going to lead with. But another blocked field goal in this next game. Buccaneers end up outlasting the Jets and needed a comeback to do so at the end. 29-27, Bucks win at home.
I watched this game very closely. As many of you know, grew up in New York. I'm a Jets guy. So was watching this game intently in the early window. The Bucs had a 23-6 lead going into the fourth quarter. Todd Bowles decided for whatever reason to just play like a soft shell defense, and the Jets kind of worked their way back into the game. It's 26-20 after they score. The Bucs go down the field. They set themselves up for a field goal that should ice the game. Should be 29-20. It's over. The Jets are going to run out of time. Will McDonald blocks the kick. Not only blocks the kick, scoops and scores the blocked kick. The Jets have a 27-26 lead, but the Bucs, they're comfortable. They kick their feet up on the couch with inside of 2 minutes, and they trail because they've done it the first 3 weeks of the season. They did it again. They're 3-0. You know who they have up next there, producer Evan?
The Buccaneers. They have the Eagles at home.
Very fun matchup.
This weekend on Sunday. Matchup of 2 3-0 teams.
That's what I'm saying. Should be a real fun matchup in the power structure of the NFC right now.
Raiders headed to Washington.
You want to talk about your Raiders here?
And done chain on the Raiders. Raiders are done.
Wow, you're out.
I'm out.
Wow, 3 weeks, you're out.
And I realized, and I just want to apologize to those that I grew up around in the city I grew up on. I've realized my mistake. Chip Kelly. I mean, he's going to run this team into the ground. That's what I've learned. I've seen him do it before. I thought maybe he could get it to work. He can't. He's going to run this Raiders team into the ground. And on top of that, they can't tackle a lick.
They can't tackle. This was my worry about a Geno offense, right? They can't move the ball all that well. And shout out Marcus Mariota.
Yeah, he looked really good. Really good.
Just played well, kept the offense on schedule. That's my notes. My notes were shout out Marcus Mariota. That's all I have on this one.
There's not much.
That's all I have. It says shout out Marcus Mariota. That's what I wrote down.
Interested on what you're going to have to say about this next one.
Okay.
Atlanta travels to Carolina and just gets absolutely demolished. The Panthers win actually by 30. 30-0 Panthers.
I will read it exactly here from my notes. Evans Panthers did the thing. That's what I have written down here. Listen, this Falcons team, Michael Penix Jr. struggled yesterday. And I got to tell you, when they have games that get lopsided like that on them, they are not built to come back, because I don't think Penix is that type of volume thrower that can throw them back into the game. And when they get down multiple scores, it basically takes away their ability to use their best player on offense. I mean, this is some sour grapes, because I had a lot of Bijan numbers yesterday going up against one of the worst rushing defenses in the league. I had a lot on Bijan running all over, but when you get down early, you turn the ball over, right? Pick sixes, you set yourself up behind the 8-ball game script, you're down multiple scores, you're not going to run the football, and so it takes away your best offensive weapon. And I'm sorry, I don't think Michael Penix is the type of player that can throw the Atlanta Falcons back into games. You saw it yesterday. They benched him late. They put Kirk Cousins in the game. Michael Penix needs to be in the game getting every throw possible.
Watching those two teams play, and specifically the Falcons, as well as we'll get into the Saints game a little later, it is hard not to see a world where Tampa may not win this division by week 10. And that, obviously I'm joking, but that feels like where we might be at.
Well, we know the NFC South always somehow comes down to the final week, but if this is the way the rest of the division is going to play, and this is the way the Bucs are going to play, I agree with you.
A slugfest in Jacksonville. An absolute slugfest.
You want
Jags.
points? This was the game for
outlast the Texans 17-10. Biggest takeaway from this game, I don't know about you, both these quarterbacks stink.
CJ Stroud's not good. I'm starting to get a legitimate concern that rookie year is the best of CJ Stroud.
I think it might be.
He's my fantasy quarterback. It's not going well.
It's not going well.
My notes here, CJ Stroud might just stink. Now, not stink out loud.
Just stink.
Just stink. We're not there yet.
You got to be pretty bad to stink out loud.
Yeah, we reserve stink out loud for those that actually deserve it.
And Trevor, not much better. 20 of 40 for 222 and a pick.
Well, you know what? They're 2-1. They're finding ways to win. They've got a brand new coach. Let's see if there's a confidence that gets built here. I hear you. He's not wowing me, but grading on a scale of what they're trying to do, I'm kind of impressed with the 2-1 start.
I mean, not wowing you. He threw the ball 40 times and completed 20
I know.
And threw for 222.
But they're winning football games.
Yeah. By the way, I mean, just those throwbacks are so nice. I might be the only one I love the way the Jags look in those throwbacks.
I tend to be very pro jersey. You're not.
Yeah.
I tend to like every throwback and every alternative.
And you don't like
jersey.
that one?
I know I like that one. I'm just saying I usually like everything.
Yeah.
That you like it, that's saying something rather than it coming from me.
The Chargers outlast the Broncos. I got some fun ones for this one.
The Chargers are legit.
The Chargers are legit.
The Chargers are not chargering. 3 straight weeks, 3 divisional opponents. They're taking care of business. They've beaten the Chiefs. They've beaten the Broncos. That game, think about the way that game ended. That was the perfect scenario for Herbert and the Chargers to charger. And they didn't. They did the exact opposite. They felt composed. They felt confident. And they executed on the drive to tie the game and on the field goal to win it.
And you have a 2-game lead on everybody in the division, and you've beat all of them, so you have the tiebreaker on all of them.
And they're not running the ball well.
So I have to give you 3 fun little stats here about the Chargers 3-0 start.
All right, do these quickly because we are way up against it.
Sorry. The Chargers are the first team to start 3-0 against 3 separate division teams since 2005.
That's a long time ago. It's 20 years.
20 years. That was the Bears under Rex Grossman, who went to the Super Bowl that year, by the way. There you go.
Chargers to the Super Bowl confirmed.
No, because, again, they could go 17-0. I'm betting against them in the wild card round. Lock it in. That's my 3-point play.
You're already on record with that.
Second thing, the first time the Chargers have started 3-0 since Drew Brees quarterback the Chargers.
It is a very impressive start for this team. And you knew.
Couldn't believe that.
Get a coach in there that knows what he's doing and knows the situational stuff, and everything's going to work. And so far it has.
The Saints head to Seattle.
The Saints are bad.
And just get crushed, 44-13.
Move on. The Saints are bad. Anybody who plays the Saints, I'm not reading into it. The Saints are bad.
Bears get their first win at home over the Cowboys, a 31-14 win.
This is a Caleb Williams, Ben Johnson statement game. They needed it. They've been searching for it. They got it in this game. The Cowboys defensively are awful.
Sunday night football, the Chiefs.
Speaking of absolutely horrendous, what Russell Wilson did in the red zone is one of the worst quarterbacking play sequences I think I've ever seen since watching football, and I'm 31 years old.
I just want to be very clear about this. Russell Wilson stinks, and it's...
Do you want to go to it? You want to go to the place?
Yeah, I said today I would take 31 other quarterbacks in the league.
He may stink out loud.
No, not might. He stinks out loud. It's hard to believe he was ever productive in the NFL.
It's really bad.
It is so bad.
It is really bad.
I just can't understand. He's trying to. It's unbelievable how bad he is.
Also, not the impressive win from the Chiefs that I was hoping to get.
No, I want to be very clear. They should have been losing at halftime to the Giants.
100%.
This Chiefs team stinks. Stinks.
Just stinks.
You know who doesn't stink? Cam Scatterboot.
He did score another touchdown.
He looked great. He had more yards than the entire rest of the Giants offense last night.
Well, and there may be a quarterback change here coming in the near future. That is your Week 3 NFL Rewind. Coming up next, we wrap up hour number 1 here of the lunch break with a little buy or sell. It's KDUS AM 1060.
On your ride home from work, join in on the Sports Zoo with Dave Rooster Bierstein.
If we owned our own football team called the Angry Roosters, and we kept signing people to contracts, and they weren't honoring their contracts and kept demanding raises, at what point do we throw our hands up and just say no to everybody? We signed you to a contract. Play out your contract, and that's it. You earn a better contract on your next one, we'll pay you for that.
Live weekdays from 5 to 6 p.m. here on KDUS AM 1060 and on the KDUS 1060 app.
Cool off with a road trip to northern Arizona's beautiful AAA Four Diamond Resort. Football freaks, crush our $57,000 pigskin pickup and score up to $500 free play weekly and up to $5,000 cash at season's end. Swipe your Players Club card at any kiosk to make your picks. Tuesday, 8 a.m. through Sunday, 10 a.m. For the following week's games, 15 players will score cash or free play. You'll love Zenith Steakhouse, awarded for excellence by Wine Spectator, the D. Rona Award for Excellence, and Open Table Diner's Choice Award. The place to come when you want to have too much fun. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP.
Millions of fans agree. This Christmas tradition rocks. Trans-Siberian Orchestra, live in concert, presenting The Ghosts of Christmas Eve, the best of TSO and more. November 30th, 2 shows, 3 and 7:30 p.m. PHX Arena. Tickets on sale now at livenation.com. Trans-Siberian Orchestra, presented by 100.7 KSLX.
Tired of running out of hot water? Right now at Precision Air and Plumbing, get 25% off a tankless or hybrid water heater. Systems that deliver hot water on demand, take up less space, and cut down on energy costs. It's efficient, reliable, and perfect for Arizona homes. And with flexible financing options, it's more affordable than ever. Make the precision decision today and call us at 602-765-ICE.
Make a precision decision with Precision Air.
The Varsity Sports Show with Vince D'Alicio is your hub for everything high school and college sports. Join Vince and friends as they give you the full picture on student athletes and where they're heading. Live interviews with coaches across the valley.
Asking some of the tough questions.
Varsity recaps and in-depth interviews with tomorrow's sports stars. The Varsity Sports Show with Vince D'Alicio. Live every Saturday morning from 9 to 11 a.m. here on KDUS AM 1060 and on the KDUS 1060 app.
closing up hour number 1 here on a Monday. It's a little buy or sell. Producer Evan, for the second straight segment, is going to guide us here.
Always do on a Monday. Mondays and Fridays are busy days for me.
We've said this in the past. Mondays and Fridays are big Producer Evan days. And I don't know what that does to the ratings.
I think it's got a dramatic effect.
I don't know. You are a very polarizing figure with the listeners.
I don't really know how to take that.
I know. I'm just saying you elicit a reaction from the listeners, especially those that are watching over on the YouTube side of things.
Which is crazy because you give more of the takes.
Right. I'm the take guy on the show. It's sort of my job, right, as the host of the program. But you're the producer. You get involved, and so I think they just like to beat up on you.
Well, I get trolled more.
As I'm saying, you definitely get trolled more. Now, I will say, the show being 2-1 so far in the pick'em is good for you.
Certainly good for me, especially after all the question marks in week 1.
I mean, you only scored 1 point this past weekend, but it was the 1 point that the show needed to make sure that we were victorious.
Yeah, it's the 1 point that everybody mattered. I mean, listen, am I kicking myself over my performance? Yes. Should I have made some different picks? Probably. I thought about taking the Steelers. I now know the Patriots do stink. That is confirmed. And they are bad at situational football.
Let's get into some buy or sell before we get out of here in hour number 1 of the show.
Last week, we talked about the D-backs needing to get to 84 wins to make the playoffs. That number has changed, and the D-backs only need to get to 83 now.
They start the week, 79 and 77? Correct?
79 and 77. To get to 83, they'd have to go 4-2 in their last 6.
Which, if you were listening to us earlier in the program, we said they're going to probably have to go at least 4-2 to get in over the Mets and the Reds. And even then, it's still not a guarantee. I still think 84 is the number that they need to get to, which is what makes such a tall
uphill battle
hill to climb, because that requires 5-1 against the Dodgers and the Padres.
The Bears' win over the Cowboys this weekend was our first sign that Ben Johnson will work as the head coach of the Bears.
I'll sell this just because I think many teams are going to be able to do this against Dallas. I mean, let's break it down game by game. Week 1, the Eagles probably would have scored 40 if not for the 1 hour lightning delay.
Certainly.
In week 2, you gave up 30 to the Giants. The Giants, who in the other 2 games combined scored 15 points. You gave up more than 30 to them in one game.
In a Russell Wilson legacy day.
Right, 450 yards from Russell Wilson. So that's what happened in week 2. And then in week 3, you gave up 31 to the Bears. I think this is what it's going to be like every single week for the Cowboys. So until I see the Bears do it against somebody who defensively I have more respect for, I will sell this tape.
Does a win like this build anything for the Bears, or kind of lightning in a bottle?
I think it can build something. It's Ben Johnson's first win as a head coach. It's a confidence-building performance from an offensive perspective, right? They're going to be able to look back at plays that they executed well and plays that they're going to want in the game plan every single week. I mean, that's half the battle when you're trying to get on the same page as a quarterback. What can we install that the quarterback likes to run and plays that we're good at running? So now they have some tape to look back on, and it's going to help them inform their game plans moving forward.
The Cardinals defense will need to be a top 8 unit in football if this team wants to make the playoffs.
Top 8. They might need to be the best unit in football if this offense is going to continue to play.
I was going to say top 5, and then I felt like, well, that might be kind of a fever dream.
No,
then I was going to say top 10, but that felt too low.
They're going to need to be elite, like elite of elite, if this is the way the offense is going to play. Now, if the offense can score some more points, if the offense can move the ball better, then they don't need to be top 5 or top 6. But right now, I think they need to be elite of elite if they want to make the postseason.
I mean, in all seriousness, they've scored what? So it's 15 this week, 13 offensively, 20 last week.
33?
Yeah, last 2 weeks.
33 the last 2 weeks. They scored what, 20? So 53 points offensively.
Over 3 games?
Over 3 games. And
you're less than...
You have to take away a touchdown. It was the scoop and score touchdown against the Panthers.
Yes, that's 20. So you scored 20
so
points.
20.
So 33. 53 points.
In 3 games.
So you're averaging less than 20 a game.
It's just not. That's not going to get it done.
In today's NFL, that will never, ever win you enough games.
Nope.
And that will build me into my next one is Drew Petzing coaching for his job this Thursday.
I certainly want to dive into this more as the week progresses and as we move closer and closer to Thursday. The Cardinals are on a short week this week, so it changes very much how we are going to prepare here on the show. We're going to have to very quickly flip gears. We may even do the blame pie on tomorrow's show. I don't think he's coaching for his job. I'll sell the take right now, and I have plenty of reasons that I want to explore as the week goes on. I just don't think it's a good thing for the Cardinals to make that type of change this early in the season. Hour number 1 of the program in the books. Hour number 2, we start with the James Conner injury and what it means for this offense moving forward. That's next, the lunch break, KDUS, AM 1060.
AM 1060 KDUS Tempe Phoenix and KSLX HD2 Scottsdale Phoenix.
On Saturday, September 27th at 7 p.m., Phoenix Rising battles Oakland Roots SC, and the entire night is themed for heroes big and small. Come dressed as your favorite superhero and snag a free firefighter helmet at the gate while supplies last. Tickets start at just $15. Secure your spot now at phxrisingfc.com. One night, all heroes. Be there.
Son, do you know what time it is?
Your father and I were waiting all night for you to come home.
I'm sorry. So we could tell you that you're eligible to become a member of Navy Federal Credit Union. Wait, what?
Since your dad's a veteran, our whole family can join and get exclusive savings, discounts, and award-winning service.
Thank you. Now go to your room and think about what we said.
All veterans and their families are eligible. Join today. Navy Federal Credit Union. Our members are the mission. Navy Federal is insured by NCUA.
Connect directly, bid confidently. At Purple Wave Auction, transparency is key. With no reserves and no hidden surprises, you're connected directly to sellers so you can inspect and bid on quality equipment with confidence. Whether you're looking for ag, construction, or fleet equipment, we're here to ensure a clear, hassle-free experience. Register today at purplewave.com and start bidding with peace of mind. Purple Wave Auction. The easiest and most straightforward way to buy and sell equipment.
America. We are endowed by our Creator with certain unalienable rights, life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. By honoring your sacred vocation of business, you impact your family, your friends, and your community. At Grand Canyon University, our MBA degree program is 100% online, with emphases in business analytics and finance to help you reach your goals. Find your purpose at GCU. Private, Christian, affordable. Visit gcu.edu.
Right now, lease a brand new 2025 Kia Niro EV for just $99 a month for 24 months with $19.99 due at signing. That's right, a brand new Kia for under $100 a month, only until September 30th. The name, remember? Mark Kia. Mark Kia. Zero security deposit. Payment plus tax, title, license at $998.
Judas Priest.
Breaking the law, breaking the law.
And Alice Cooper.
Judas Priest, the godfather of shock rock, Alice Cooper. October 22nd, Talking Stick Resort Amphitheater with special guest, Corrosion of Conformity. Get tickets now at livenation.com. Presented by 100.7 KSLX, part of the America First Credit Union Concert Series.
AM 1060 KDUS Tempe Phoenix and KSLX HD2 Scottsdale Phoenix.
Hour number 2 of the lunch break here on a Monday. Thanks for hanging out with us. Chris Schubert with you. The phone number for you to join us today, 480-864-1060. We open up hour number 2 of the program. One of the major storylines coming out of yesterday's 16-15 loss for the Arizona Cardinals that stopped them from being 3-0, that stopped them from being alone atop the NFC West standings, is the season-ending ankle injury to James Conner. The injury, according to Adam Schefter, is going to require surgery. It is considered severe, and there's no two ways to cut it, this is a huge loss for the Arizona Cardinals. This is a huge loss in general because you just feel for James Conner. You feel for a guy that ever since he's gotten to Arizona has just put his nose down and has grinded it out for this football team. So much so that he got himself a new contract extension at the end of last season. He is the leader of the offense. Their identity as a football team last year was embodied by James Conner. The way he ran the football, the physical, tough, grind it out. I'll carry the ball 25, 30 times. I'll catch passes out of the backfield. I'll do whatever you need me to do to help this football team win. It was an energy that the rest of the team fed off of, and now it is gone. And now the Cardinals have to put the pieces back together. On top of their offense not working with James Conner, they only average 3.8 yards per carry on the ground. And producer Evan, if you can pull this number for me, I want to know what their number is for the season. I think it's way down from last year. I think I mentioned it in hour number 1 of the program, but that piece of paper I have lost. I think it's like 4.1 yards per carry for the season.
They now rank 16th in 2025 with 4.3 yards per carry.
4.3 yards per carry. That's not going to get it done. They were struggling with James Conner, and offensively in general, they were struggling, and now they're going to have to figure this out without James Conner. Now, luckily, if there is a luckily when it comes to an injury like this, the Cardinals have prepared for a moment like this. It's why they drafted Trey Benson. They wanted a secondary back. They wanted another option in that backfield. And there was kind of some playful banter in the summertime about not having a running back one and both guys getting touches, because that's how highly this franchise viewed Trey Benson and what the future could look like for him. We said it at the time. Producer Evan, you weren't here for this, but at the time that James Conner signed that 3-year contract extension, we mapped it out for everybody. We said that maybe this year would be a predominantly James Conner season. Maybe the first half of next year would predominantly be James Conner as the featured back. But probably by the midway point of this contract extension, through the end of it, that's when the flip would happen. That's when Trey Benson would take over and be the primary lead back. Well, that change is going to have to happen sooner than that, because this is now the Trey Benson show. And there is a lot of pressure now on Trey Benson and this offensive line because they are a run-first team. That's who this Cardinals team is. Jonathan Gannon wants to play the style of football. You win the time of possession. You run the football. You lean on leads late by running the football, ground and pound, dominate the trenches, old school physical style football. That's the way Jonathan Gannon wants to play. He's comfortable with a 1-score lead late, leaning on his offense and his running game in the 4-minute drill and controlling the clock that way. He is not a guy that's going to throw the ball 35, 40 times. This is not going to become the Cincinnati offense. That's not who this team is. So losing James Conner is a massive blow to the identity and the way this offense wants to operate.
It is one of those things that is going to raise massive questions in an area that you were already, let's not sugarcoat it, failing in. Right? You've been failing in the run game. And now you lose your lead back. And so it raises questions. What are we going to do with Trey Benson? Is it a different style of running? Obviously it is from James Conner. Are we going to have to adapt to that in our run game schemes? We're going to have to do something different. Are we going to run to the outside more? Are we still going to keep it between the tackles? There are so many questions.
You are asking questions just about the running game element of this. I have questions on whether or not, even though I just said I don't think they'll do it, if there needs to be an offense transformation. And that requires a word that I don't think we would allocate to Drew Petzing and this offensive coaching staff right now. That would require some creativity. Because here are just a couple of things that I think they can do to help this out. Because I think putting all of this on Trey Benson, and yes, DeMercado is going to get some run, and they're going to find ways to mix in multiple backs, but Benson's going to carry a lot of this. Are there more designed quarterback runs? Do we get more read options, more RPOs, more designed opportunities for Kyler to be an extension of the running game in lieu of James Conner? Does this team try to open the passing game up more? Not substantially, but do we throw it 5 to 7 more times a game than we normally would? Because again, we can't put all of this pressure on the running game. Who fills the leadership void that James Conner filled on the offensive side of the ball? Is it Kyler? Is it a player like Paris Johnson Jr.? Is it Michael Wilson? Is it some of the guys that have been there the last couple of years? Is it a Kelvin Beachum? Is it a Will Hernandez? Who is it that steps up and fills that leadership void for this team offensively? I have so many questions about what this offense looks like. James Conner, this is a huge, huge, huge injury. And you now have 3 days to turn around and prepare for Seattle. Tough blow.
It's a huge blow. And you said, how does it change the entire offense? One of the things you brought up is RPOs. Doesn't it feel like they just don't try that at all? When it feels as if an RPO would take pressure off of now a room that has lost your lead back and a quarterback that, let's face it, hasn't been always on point when you get to the second and third read. So it's a one read play. You hand it or you throw it to, if it's a RPO slant, it's called a slant. It's just one read. So does that take pressure and help get Kyler into rhythm early in a game? Does it take pressure off of a guy like Trey Benson, who's going to see more carries than he ever has in the league? There needs to be a more creative approach to offense. You need to try something different because what you're doing now just isn't working.
Offensively, you've scored 53 points in 3 games. To your point, offensively, they're scoring less than 20 points a game. I know in general, when you add in some of the defensive plays that they've had go their way, the safety, the scoop and score, that will take them over the 20-point per game mark. But just looking at the offense, they've scored 5 offensive touchdowns in 3 games. And so when things are this dire, when things are struggling this much, to me, it's KISS. Keep it simple, stupid. That's what this offense needs to get back to. And to me, where I think this offense is going to be most comfortable, and it is at its most simplest form, is looking at the players that you have and maximizing their skill set. Kyler Murray is a running quarterback. Let's utilize that. Let's utilize. And this is where I kind of push back against the people that want to move away from Drew Petzing into somebody else calling plays. There's a lot of creativity pre-snap. There's a lot of motion. I mean, you sit down and you watch a football game from the All-22 from the Cardinals, there's motion on basically every play. And do you want to know why there's motion on every play? Do you want to know what the intent is behind that? They are trying to help Kyler. It's not a shot on Kyler. This is just what the offense is trying to do. They are trying to diagnose the defense pre-snap. The motion is going to tell you, are they in man or are they in zone? And that will help you know if the play that you've called is designed to go up against that defense. And then you can check to something else. They're trying to simplify it. Let's get some more screens involved. They do a great job of setting up screens for Trey McBride. Let's set up some screens for Marv. Let's set up some running back screens for Trey Benson where he can use that speed out in space. Let's make this offense the simplest, but also the most confident version of itself. And to me, the way you do that, and an injury like James Conner being out for the season, I think forces you to go back to the drawing board a little bit. And it is a short week. So your game plan's not going to be expansive anyway. KISS, keep it simple, stupid.
You almost have no other options other than to keep it simple, right? Like, just understand your personnel. I don't think your personnel is built for what they're trying to do or what some of these other offenses are running in the league. But you can find success. And from what we've seen from the defense, they don't need to be great. They just need to be good. Middle of the pack.
And they're not even that right.
And they're not even that. I mean, this is a serious bottom 5, bottom 8 offense in football. I don't know. I don't know if I can name 8 worse units offensively around the league than what the Cardinals have shown me through 3 games.
And I think I'd be more frustrated if I didn't see open plays on tape. Because I see them. They're there. And I also think you can look at this game and say, man, they missed Paris Johnson. They missed Paris Johnson Jr. in this game on the left side. I mean, Evan, I was here early today. So I was watching the All-22.
Yeah.
It was not quietly. I was screaming at my computer screen. There are a number of plays where they went 13 personnel and they brought in an additional offensive lineman and they overloaded to one side and they still couldn't do stuff in the running game. They still struggled. They miss Will Hernandez at that right guard. I think they need to make a change there with Isaiah Adams. And you need to consider all sorts of different changes right now to this offense because, yes, you're 2-1. Yes, it's just 1 loss. But offensively, you have not been good for 3 games. So you need to consider everything. You need to consider simplifying this offense. And I see John over on YouTube say, hasn't the offense always been simple for Kyler Murray? And I think, let me try to rephrase what I mean by simple. I think there need to be quick, confident building plays earlier on in the game that this team doesn't run. There wasn't a quarterback design run until 3 minutes to go in the game. That's not on Kyler. That's on the play call. Why are we not running the ball more with our quarterback, who, when he is out in open space, is potentially the most dynamic player at the position, sans Lamar Jackson? I mean, that's how good he is in open space. Why aren't we doing more to get him into those opportunities? I mean, I don't want to go all college football on everybody, but why are we not doing some, some speed options to the outside?
You almost watch Ole Miss play every week, and you're like, this is what the Cardinals should do. Like, I don't know if anybody has sat down and watched Ole Miss, but it feels like they run what the Cardinals should run on offense. 1 reads, quarterback runs. Like, just go watch Lane Kiffin and be like, okay, I get it. I get how we can make that simple. And I don't know if it'll work in the NFL, but you have to try something different.
Yes.
I can't sit here and watch the same things every week. We watch the same stuff every week, not for 1 year, but now 2.
And you have to find a way. I mean, we're going to talk about this a little bit later on in the hour, but the drop by Marv, the comments post-game, he looks like a player that's rattled. And that's the number 4 overall pick. That's your wide receiver 1. If you don't have him, we mentioned how bad the wide receiver room is after him. If you don't have him, you don't have an offense.
I mean, there are major concerns about him right now.
You're down James Conner. You potentially have a Marvin Harrison Jr. that's thinking too much out on the football field and isn't just playing football. You have an offense. I mean, this thing could spiral quickly.
And do you know what would help Marvin Harrison Jr.? Maybe just like a veteran in the room who's had success in the league. I don't know if we've talked about that before.
Keenan Allen would look great in a Cardinals uniform right now. Yeah. 480-864-1060 is the phone number for you to join us here today on the program. When we come back, it wasn't pretty, but it was a Big 12 road win. We'll talk about it next. It's the lunch break, KDUS, AM 1060.
It's the Dan Patrick Show.
Ben DiNucci, NFL quarterback. I'm still going to introduce you as NFL quarterback. Being on the practice squad, what's the difference in how you're treated, lifestyle?
Honestly, nothing's different. I mean, there's 53 guys on the active roster and there's 16 on the practice squad. And the reality of the NFL is that guys are going to get hurt. There's a reason that these teams put a lot of effort into the practice squad, just like they do the active roster. It's really all the same. You're still traveling with the team. The pay cut's a little bit less, but at the end of the day, it's still great.
Live Monday through Friday, 6 to 9 a.m. right here on KDUS AM 1060 and the KDUS 1060 app.
Have you noticed all of a sudden there's a bunch of lawyers saying they're going to fight for you? Yeah, until you read the fine print below them. Hi, I'm Mark Breyer.
And I'm Alexis Breyer. We're the husband and wife law team. If you look closely at that fine print, you'll see not an attorney in this state or not a law firm.
You never trust your future in the hands of someone other than a serious, experienced trial lawyer. And you definitely can't trust someone who won't even tell you who they are.
Do your research after a serious injury. Call the husband and wife law team first.
Fulton Homes is bringing legendary Fulton quality back to the West Valley. Explore 4 exceptional West Valley locations with more standard features and thousands of ways to personalize your home. Find out why people buy Fulton Homes over and over again. Fulton Homes, you're proud to own, we're proud to build.
Hey, it's Austin Clark, owner of Moxie Pest Control. You know, most pest control companies use the same products we do. That's not the difference. But what is the difference is how we treat people. At Moxie, kindness counts, and it shows in every visit, every conversation, and every one of the 6,500 plus five-star Google reviews our customers have written. Our field experts aren't just trained to handle pests. They're trained to treat your home, your family, your pets, and your time with the kind of respect you deserve. And our services come with a pest-free guarantee. Our methods and service just work better because our people are better. So if you want a pest control company you can trust in and around your home, give us a call. We offer same-day services in most cases, and we'll even give you 50% off your first service when you call. Call 888-MOXIE-10. That's 888-MOXIE-10. Moxie Pest Control, the highest and most reviewed pest control company in Arizona.
Scottsdale's so nice we're doing it twice. October 15 through 18 at Westworld. The Fall Auction, presented by Gila River Resorts and Casinos. Hundreds of collector cars in the all-new indoor Barrett-Jackson Fan Zone. Food, drinks, and live entertainment. Get tickets now at barrett-jackson.com.
I'm Dan Patrick, and this is Above the Noise. When we break down the NFL's best teams, the conversation almost always starts the same. Offense first, then defense. But football, as every coach loves to remind us, is played in three phases. And while special teams may take the field the least, its impact can be the most dramatic. Week 2 gave us a perfect reminder. In Dallas, Brandon Aubrey drilled a field goal from beyond 60 yards. The kind of kick that doesn't just put points on the board, but flips momentum. It helped the Cowboys escape the Giants with the win they absolutely needed. And then yesterday, the Eagles and Browns showed the other side of the coin. A perfectly timed surge off the edge led to 2 blocked field goals, sealing a hard-fought victory for both teams. Plays like those don't happen often, but when they do, they can be the difference maker. A difference between a playoff berth and an early vacation. Special teams will never be sexy. They'll never command headlines. But if you're chasing a championship, ignore them at your own risk. I'm Dan Patrick, and this is Above the Noise. With DraftKings Pick 6, the official daily fantasy partner of the NFL, your game day instincts can score you real money fast. And here's the kickoff bonus. New DraftKings customers get $50 in bonus bets with just a $5 entry on your first pick set. This season, play your player instincts. Download the DraftKings Pick 6 app now. Use code Patrick. Code Patrick, you play just $5 to get $50 in bonus bets for Pick 6. Make the call. Ride the upside in partnership with DraftKings Pick 6. The crown is yours.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org in Connecticut. Must be 18 plus. Age and eligibility restrictions vary by jurisdiction. Pick 6 not available everywhere, including New York and Ontario. Void where prohibited. 1 per new customer. Bonus awarded as non-withdrawable Pick 6 bonus picks that expire in 14 days. Limited time offer. See terms at pick6.draftkings.com/promos.
KDUS AM 1060 is your home for the Jim Rome Show.
Something Mark Cuban said, but at this point, he's pretty much the last one claiming that Ballmer is innocent, aside from Ballmer and the Clippers. Cuban is not convincing anybody of anything. Neither are the Clippers, and neither is Adam Silver. They're all just making it worse. Just like when Ballmer made it worse when he ran to ESPN and put on his Mickey Mouse falsetto voice to claim, they caught me.
1 to 4 p.m. Monday through Friday here on KDUS AM 1060 and on the KDUS 1060 app.
The style points, they matter in college football, but winning as a road underdog in your first conference game of the season when everybody is doubting who you are as a program is nothing to scoff at. And that is exactly what the Sun Devils did on Saturday, beating Baylor on the road in Baylor by a final of 27-24. And the narrative coming into that game on Saturday was whether or not Sam Leavitt and this offense at large could step up. And I'm still a little on the fence of whether or not this offense is Big 12 championship caliber, if it's college football playoff caliber, because for 3 quarters on Saturday, looked very similar to the way it did against NAU, looked very similar to the way that it did against Mississippi State. Looked very similar to the way that it did against Texas State. But in the fourth quarter, Sam Leavitt and this ASU offense stepped up when it mattered most. The Sun Devils had 3 drives in the fourth quarter on Saturday. Up 13-10, they had a 5-play drive off of an interception, kicked a field goal, made it 16-10, didn't cash in for the touchdown, but put points on the board. Then, when trailing 17-16, they went on a 7-play, 84-yard drive to take a 24-17 lead on a touchdown that I'm still not sure how Jordan Tyson stayed up in the air long enough to catch the pass. He floated in the air. He just floated. Mistimed his jump. He mistimed the jump and just floated in the air.
It's incredible the hang time he gets in the air, isn't it? It is incredible.
Insane that he was able to do that. So your first drive in the fourth quarter, field goal to make it 16-10. Second drive, 7 plays, 84 yards to take a 24-17 lead. So you score the touchdown. You get the 2-point conversion. As producer Evan reminded me in the pre-show meeting, was the octopus for Jordan Tyson. Caught the touchdown and the 2-point conversion. And then, with the game tied, Sam Leavitt led the Sun Devils on an 11-play, 49-yard drive that sets up the game-winning field goal. The first 3 quarters left a lot to be desired. The first 3 quarters, same narrative as the first 3 games of the season. But in the fourth quarter, 3 drives, scored on all of them. When you needed the touchdown, you got it. When you needed the game-winning drive to push this team in front, you got the field goal, 11 plays, 49 yards, set this team up to win the football game. You can't ask for much more than your quarterback stepping up in those moments. Who was the better quarterback in the game? You look at it statistically, no doubt it was Sawyer Robinson. And we said that going into the game that he had been the better QB. But when it mattered most, Sam Leavitt, 3 drives, scored on all 3. The Sun Devils walked out of Baylor with a victory.
I think they found a wide receiver too. I think he may be more gadgety, but where were you when Derek Eusebio saved the Sun Devils season in Baylor?
He was wide open.
I mean, he was wide open. And then they used him on the end around. But I think that's the biggest takeaway is you had so many different guys with a catch. And yes, I know what you're going to say, Evan, it still was only 3 receivers. Eusebio has 2 grabs. Malik McLean has the grab. Cameron Harpool got involved with a first down catch. Obviously, Jordan Tyson had 7. Shimon Mateer with another bigger game. He had 6 grabs. They used different receivers. Yes. Is it the dominating win we may have wanted? No. And I don't know if you even wanted a dominating win because – yes, style points work in college, but with today's college football playoff, just win the games.
And
like if you just win in conference, you're in.
It was a gritty win that I'm hopeful that the way they played in the fourth quarter offensively, how they executed in the fourth quarter, scoring points on all their drives, gives them confidence to build off of because let's face it, big, tough matchup coming up this Friday.
TCU's very good. Arizona State enters as a 3-point favorite. So you imagine in a neutral site, that's a pick 'em.
You win this game, though, on Friday. And again, I don't want to do Friday's show before Friday's show. But you win this game on Friday, you're back to being ranked at 4-1 with a 2-0 start in the Big 12.
You'd have to imagine.
Beating Baylor in Baylor and beating TCU, I think you get back into the conversation of being a ranked team in the top 25. And again, build off of what happened here. Was it pretty? No. Was it the best we've seen Sam Leavitt and this ASU offense play? No. We're still searching for them to recapture any of the magic that they had from a year ago. But it says something when you can play pretty bad football for 3 quarters offensively. They were not great for 3 quarters in that game.
No.
And in the fourth quarter, when you have to have it, you get 3 drives, you score on all 3. And I know I keep harping on that point, but that's what good/great teams do. When they need it, they get it. And the Sun Devils needed points on all 3 of those drives, and they got points on all 3 of those drives. And so while it wasn't pretty, I'm hoping that it serves as a confidence builder. You saw Sam Leavitt running into the tunnel after the game, was amped up, was excited. That had to feel good. And you know what? That was a close game, a close win on the road. That feels different than beating NAU the way that you did at home. That feels different than beating Texas State the way that you did. I'll take a close win on the road against a really good Baylor team and a really good quarterback. I'll take it because you know what? That's a momentum building type game. That is a confidence-building type game.
And I want to talk about their first drive. ASU gets the ball after the fumble, then get 3 points, and they're in good field position. But let's talk about what it is. 14-yard run, 4-yard run, 2-yard run, 5-yard run, 1-yard run, incompletion. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 runs before you threw a pass.
They ran the ball.
Ran the ball.
Raleek Brown had a really solid game.
I thought they ran the ball. I thought in the second half, for the first time all year, they had a team completely off balance.
That's them getting back to who they are as a team. And so that's why, it's just a 3-point win against an unranked Baylor team. I get all that. And it wasn't super impressive. It doesn't have all the style points. It matters because that win is different than the other 2 wins they have on the schedule. That win, unlike barely feeling good about NAU to start the year, barely feeling good about beating Texas State as a bounce back from embarrassing yourself in Mississippi State the week prior, this is a win to be proud of. This is a win that you can build off of.
And we're not saying there's not mistakes. There's tons of mistakes. I mean, this team won the turnover battle 3-0. You had the 2 forced fumbles and the pick, and you won the game by 3. They love, as Kenny Dillingham says, this team loves a heart attack.
I'll tell you what. We asked Sam Levitt to step up. This was not the performance I had in mind when I said to step up on Friday.
No.
But it is a performance that was good enough to win a football game, that was good enough to start them 1-0 in conference, was good enough to get them to 3-1 on the season. It was a performance good enough to set up for a huge clash on Friday against TCU, where you're favored at home.
And you were efficient enough if you're Sam Levitt. You're 22 of 32. You didn't turn the ball over. You threw the touchdown to Tyson when you needed it. You made the big completion to a wide-open Derek Eusebio.
It's a vibes thing. You feel better about it. You feel better about the direction you're going in. For the first time this season, I think you can feel good about a win that the Sun Devils had. And that's going to feed everybody in that building. That's going to make Sam Levitt more confident and move him closer to the quarterback that we saw in the second half of last season. That's going to move Kenny to be the confident coach that we saw from him in the second half of last season. And credit to the defense. They came up and they made plays when the team needed them to in that football game. Again, you look at it, it's a 3-point win on the road in Baylor. You're not overly impressed by the way the box score looks, but you have to be really, really excited about what this win could unlock for this team.
And I said this before, but you had different receivers get involved this week. You had 5 different players get a carry.
This wasn't going to turn overnight. You just needed to show signs of positivity, to show signs of progress. I think Saturday did that for this football team.
And there's no reason to panic. You lost a bad game at Mississippi State. There's no reason to panic yet. This next stretch, though, for Arizona State becomes a gauntlet. So 1 week at a time, right? Take on TCU. I don't want to do the show before the show as we get later in the week, but you got TCU this week. You got them at home. I imagine a win on the road like that at Baylor saves an environment for what it's going to be Friday. People know it's a big game. You got a ranked TCU team coming in, and Arizona State probably playing for a ranking themselves. Yeah. It's a big one.
And I think the environment is going to match it. That's the other thing of why Saturday's win was so important, because I think you're going to get a pretty excited crowd that's going to be ready to win a football game, get to 2-0 in the Big 12, and potentially get ranked once again. So we'll get to that as the week moves along, but certainly you circle Friday as a big one for the Sun Devils here this season. 480-864-1060 is the phone number for you to join us here today on the program. You can also hang out with us over on the KDUS AM 1060 YouTube live stream and chat away over there with us as well. When we come back, 2 plays, 2 drops. What happened to Marvin Harrison Jr. and Zay Jones? That's next, the lunch break, KDUS AM 1060.
Ready to tackle each morning with the best sports information coming at you?
I'm going to take a logical approach.
Get that weekday mornings on KDUS AM 1060 from 6 to 9 a.m. with the Dan Patrick Show. Dan Patrick, the Danettes, sports icons, sports legends, celebrities, poll questions. The Dan Patrick Show has it all.
It's a crapshoot.
Be sure to lock your dials to AM 1060 or 100.7 HD2 from 6 to 9 a.m. Mornings just got better.
This story is about us.
Right now, lease a brand new 2025 Kia Niro EV for just $99 a month for 24 months with $19.99 due at signing. That's right, a brand new Kia for under $100 a month, only until September 30th. The name, remember? Mark Kia. Mark Kia. Zero security deposit, payment plus tax, title, license, and $998 doc fee.
Have guns around your house that you no longer want or don't know what to do with? MMP Guns, a federally licensed firearms dealer, can help you legally dispose of them and put some cash in your pocket at the same time. September 26th through the 28th, MMP Guns will host a huge gun buying event. Their buyers will evaluate and give you top dollar for your unwanted guns legally, so there's no liability on you. Located at 1152 East Indian School Road inside Mo Money Pond. Friday, September 26th at 10 a.m. through Sunday, September 28th at 7 p.m. Go to LegalGunBuyer.com for more info.
Sticks. The Hits. Live at Celebrity Theater. Friday and Saturday, January 9th and 10th. With special guest Max Gomez. Tickets on sale now at celebritytheater.com. A trip through all their best. Don't miss Sticks Live. Produced by Danny Zalisco Presents.
A noisy garage door is a cry for help that often requires only simple maintenance. However, if left untreated, could lead to costly repairs. Hi, I'm Tommy Mello from A1 Garage Door Service. Don't wait until a simple garage door repair becomes a major problem. If your garage door is noisy, if bugs are getting in, or if it struggles to open, your garage door is in need of repair. From simple repairs to upgrades, it's A1 from day one. We fix garage doors fast and with quality parts designed to last a lifetime. Our springs, rollers, and openers are tested by running them up and down, open and closed, all day, 24/7, so you can feel confident with every A1 garage door repair. Replacing the bottom rubber on your garage door can have a huge impact on the number of bugs you see in your garage and in your home. Keep those creepy crawlers outside by calling A1 Garage Door Service today and receive the best service, best parts, and best warranty in the industry.
A1Garage.com. A1 from day one.
Call today and take advantage of our $29.95 tune-up special.
You got the paint job, but now you need the materials fast. Get free same-day or next-day delivery on select PPG paints from the Home Depot. Now that's a pro move. Save time on store runs and get free delivery on small or large orders of select items. Save energy shopping around with PPG's wide assortment of colors and finishes all in one place. And save money with Pro Extra, where you can get up to 20% off paints, primers, and stains through Paint Rewards. The Home Depot, how pros get more done.
Superstar Car Wash, the car wash with superpowers. Sign up for a free car wash today. That's right, totally free for a limited time. Because we love what makes you shine. See website for details.
James Out West, your desert destination for sports here in the Valley.
You've seen Shador. We've all seen him. He's, kind of everybody gravitates toward him.
He's got aura.
There we go. Thank you, as the young kids say. He's just there doing his job. He shows up early. He stays late. He's not posting it on social media to post it on social media to say, look at me. What you see is when he shows up to a neighborhood in which just got burned down, the apartment complex, and he sets up food trucks. I can't wait to see what happens for him, and I think that they have a good foundation for the future.
It's James Out West, every other Monday night from 6 to 7 p.m., right here on KDUS AM 1060 and on the KDUS 1060 app.
It is two plays that I think are on replay for a lot of people after the game yesterday. It's the 3rd and 9 drop by Zay Jones that would have iced the game for the Cardinals in many regards, and it was the, we think, touchdown pass to Marvin Harrison Jr. I think if he catches that ball, he may have been able to run all the way out of, is it still Levi Stadium out there in San Francisco, and could have ran all the way back to State Farm Stadium.
I think it's still Levi's.
He could have. He still would have been running. That's how wide open.
Marvin
he was
Harrison gone.
Gone. Probably a 75-yard touchdown if he catches that. Those are the two plays that are stuck on replay for many of you after that game yesterday. You look at those two plays and you think those plays are the difference. And those are just the types of plays that you can't have as an offense when you are so boom bust as it is. You don't throw the ball a ton compared to the rest of the league. You lean on your running game. So when you do throw the ball, you kind of need to efficiently throw the ball. And more so, than the Marv drop, although I do want to spend some time on that one. The 3rd and 9 drop by Zay Jones that would have iced the game. 2 minutes left, 3rd and 9. You pick up the first down. The 49ers are out of timeouts. It is game, set, match. Checkmate. You walked into San Francisco, you're walking out 3-0, and you're walking out the leaders in the NFC West if Zay Jones comes down with that pass. And this team can't miss the big plays. They can't miss the plays that ice the game. That's the difference between a team that's going to the postseason and a team that just misses the postseason. That's the difference. Those plays. You want to talk about a team that's 3-0 today? You want to talk about a team that's 3-0 that has executed in those moments with those plays? Go ask the Tampa Bay Buccaneer fan how they're feeling today. Ask them. They're 3-0. Hasn't looked pretty, but they're excited that their football team is 3-0 because in the moments that mattered, Baker Mayfield and that offense executed perfectly. Ask the Chargers about coming up with big plays on offense when you need them. The Cardinals need to find those big plays. And unfortunately, you don't need to find them. They're right there on the tape. Everybody want to blame Drew Petzing for Marvin Harrison Jr. dropping that ball? Does everybody want to play the offensive play caller for drawing up bad plays when he schemes Marvin Harrison Jr. wide open for a 75-yard touchdown pass? Does everybody want to blame Drew Petzing and Kyler Murray for Zay Jones dropping the ball on what was a perfectly designed play on 3rd and 9 to ice the game? Perfect play call, perfect execution from Kyler. Gotta catch the football. This is why this issue isn't just one person. This is why I push back against the idea of firing Drew Petzing. Is it Drew's fault that Marv dropped the ball? Is it Drew's fault that Zay Jones dropped the ball? Is it Drew's fault that Kyler Murray gets an intentional grounding when Trey Benson's staring him right in the face wide open for the first down that would have kept the drive alive? Is any of that Drew Petzing's fault? Is Drew Petzing maybe a little too conservative at times? Is he not aggressive enough? Is his 4th down play calling sometimes a little suspicious? I will grant you, Drew Petzing is not a perfect play caller on offense. But to lay all of this at the feet of the offensive coordinator, when I can think of and talk about 2 plays in yesterday's game that cost the team a victory, and none of it, the reason why those plays failed, has to do with the play call itself. Also, it would be kind of nice to have a wide receiver, too, that you trusted right about now, wouldn't it? Looking at you, Monty Ossenfort. We talked about it all offseason long. You didn't go out and get somebody. You ran it back with the same group. Would have been nice to have a sure-handed wide receiver, too, yesterday when Marv's dropping passes and Zay Jones is dropping passes. Would be nice to have a more reliable target that Kyler could throw the ball to.
I might do the thing.
You're going to do the thing. Okay.
I think it's really time to take a hard look at Monty. This team they have a lack of talent now at some spots.
On offense. Defensively, I mean, Josh Sweat, Calais Campbell, both of those have been home runs.
Home runs.
Draft picks have been home runs. Paris Johnson Jr. is a home run. They missed him yesterday. They missed Paris
Darius
Johnson.
Robinson's a miss.
Darius Robinson is still a miss. Walter Nolan.
Obviously hasn't played a game yet.
Jury's still out. But Max Melton, Garrett Williams. I know Garrett Williams is hurt, but Max Melton, Will Johnson, I know didn't play. But those so far appear to be home runs. James Conner, signing James Conner. That was a home run. Extending James Conner was the right decision. Extending Budda Baker, Trey McBride, the right decision.
Let's go back to James Conner one.
There's way more good on the resume than there is bad.
On the James Conner one, is that a good decision? He's a 30-year-old running back. You sign him. He's hard. Obviously, he gets hurt.
You didn't reset the market with James. You didn't put him towards the highest end of the running back scale. He was the identity of your offense. You are setting him up when you sign the deal to pass the torch to Trey Benson. I had no problem with it then. I'm not going to look at it with hindsight now that 3 weeks into the season, James Conner's hurt and is going to miss the rest of the year. I'm not going to do that. There's way more good on the resume. Monty, on the list, when it comes to wide receiver 2, yes, he's where the blame goes with that. But in general, the resume's got way more good on it than it does bad. Way more good. I don't know if we're anywhere near time to question Monty. I think we're at time where we need to question Jonathan Gannon and Drew Petzing and Kyler Murray and Marv and Zay Jones and everybody involved. The two plays in the game yesterday that defined the game for the Cardinals are players not executing, players not finishing plays. Nothing to do with the play call, nothing to do with the coaching staff, nothing to do with who's on the roster and who's not on the roster. Has nothing to. You took Marvin Harrison Jr., number 4 overall. The expectation is he catches those passes. Evan, you catch that pass if I put you in that spot.
Yeah. I mean, I might not get that open. I got a solid release at the line of scrimmage, but it's not great.
If I just airdropped you in to the exact moment of the ball being thrown from Kyler to Marv, you catch the ball.
I'm telling you, I'm catching the ball. And listen, a drop like that wouldn't fly on my flag football team that plays on Tuesdays. You know, that's how bad that drop is.
That's why this is more than just an offensive coordinator conversation. This offense, we said it at the top of the show, I'll repeat it now for those of you who are just joining us in hour number 2, stinks out loud. And it's everybody. It's Kyler missing open throws. Bunch of those on tape yesterday. It's Kyler. And I don't blame him for this because in the first half, the offensive line was not very good. Can't tell you how many times I watched Nick Bosa just run over Kelvin Beachum and be in the lap of Kyler Murray. And so as the game progressed, Kyler saw some ghosts a little bit and quickly bailed out of some plays and didn't allow plays to develop. The offensive line in front of him wasn't very good. You couldn't run the football. I don't love that we're not having quarterback design runs. All of it is a problem, but all of it isn't the offensive coordinator. You had an offensive line yesterday that wasn't very good. You have a quarterback that's missing some throws. You have an offensive play caller that isn't having enough design QB runs. You have wide receivers dropping passes. You can't run the ball when it's the identity of your football team. I mean, you are a complete dumpster fire offensively right now. Now, at some point, it doesn't matter that it's everybody else and not just one person. Somebody's going to have to be accountable. And there may come a time where Drew Petzing is the person that is held accountable and they make a change. I certainly don't think it's going to be today. I certainly don't think it's going to be this week. And I certainly don't think it's going to be after Thursday.
I really, again, I don't want to do the show before the show. Thursday feels like a make or break game for this team. You come out of these first 4 weeks at 2-2.
Well, think about it. You lose on Thursday at home. You're now 0-2 in the division. You're 2-2. And the glass half full approach that you took to the first 2 games, it goes away because now it's, you barely beat Carolina. You barely beat New Orleans. And then you played 2 good teams and you look like a team that can't make the postseason. Where if you win on Thursday, you're 1-1 in the division. You beat Seattle. You're 3-1. You still don't feel great about how they started the year and not finishing those games. But hey, you're not going to give.
It's a completely different outlook.
Completely different outlook. You're not calling the league and giving the wins back. You're 3-1. You're 1-1 in the division. You stay afloat. You won on a short week. You took care of business. Now you, with the extended time off, basically a mini bye, you can get ready for the following week. There's a Grand Canyon-sized difference between 3-1 and 2-2. The way we feel about this football team on Friday, vastly different based on the way they play on Thursday and based on the result. Insane how this early in the year, one game is going to – but the difference between 2-2 and 3-1, when you look at how they would have gotten to 2-2, it's just Grand Canyon sized.
I really think, too, the other thing, you have had in 3 separate games the chance to put the game away. Those are those drives that we've talked about with Kyler Murray, where it's 2 minutes in a 1-score game, chance to put the game away or tie it and take the lead. You've had 3 games where you've had the opportunity to put it away. You're 0 for 3.
You had the ball with 3 minutes and 10 seconds to go. You needed 2 first downs to ice the game, to burn all the 49ers timeouts, and to walk out of there with a victory. You only picked up 1 of those first downs. That's it. That's the story. That's the game right there. 480-864-1060 is the phone number for you to join us here today on the program. When we come back, it's one more before we're out of here today on a Monday. It is the leftovers. We'll get to it next. It's the lunch break. KDUS, AM 1060.
On your ride home from work, join in on the Sports Zoo with Dave Rooster Beerstein.
If we owned our own football team called the Angry Roosters, and we kept signing people to contracts, and they weren't honoring their contracts and kept demanding raises, at what point do we throw our hands up and just say no to everybody? We signed you to a contract. Play out your contract, and that's it. You earn a better contract on your next one, we'll pay you for that.
Live weekdays from 5 to 6 p.m. here on KDUS AM 1060 and on the KDUS 1060 app.
Lost your health insurance? There are options to help you stay covered. Choices include Medicaid, individual and families, Medicare, and group plans. Blue Cross Blue Shield of Arizona is a local nonprofit health insurance company that can help you understand your options, no matter who you choose. Stay covered, Arizona. We've got your back. Learn more at azblue.com/options or call 1-844-584-BLUE. This message is brought to you by Blue Cross Blue Shield of Arizona.
Hi, I'm Dustin, your friend and jeweler at Shane Company. I know finding a dream engagement ring can be overwhelming, but don't worry, we got you. As director of diamond sourcing, it's my job to make sure every single diamond at Shane Company is truly the best of the best. Our team travels the world to see diamonds up close, in person. We handpick each one for its unique fire, brilliance, and scintillation. Diamond buying is an art. Of course, we look at cut, color, clarity, and carat, known as the 4 C's, but that's not all. We also look at how each diamond looks on a hand, where it will be worn, how it makes you feel, and if it's worthy of a Shane Company customer. That type of expertise only comes from working for a company that's been a family business since 1929. We also think about your budget. We only pick the best in each grade in all shapes and sizes. Your diamond is guaranteed to be the most beautiful because a friend wants you to pick from only the best. Drop by your store or shaneco.com and see for yourself. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
Breaking Benjamin. Stay forever. And 3 Days Grace. Live. October 8th at Desert Diamond Arena with special guest Return to Dust. Get tickets now at livenation.com. Don't miss Breaking Benjamin and 3 Days Grace, presented by the Big Red Radio.
The Varsity Sports Show with Vince D'Alicio is your hub for everything high school and college sports. Join Vince and friends as they give you the full picture on student athletes and where they're heading. Live interviews with coaches across the valley.
Asking some of the tough questions.
Varsity recaps and in-depth interviews with tomorrow's sports stars. The Varsity Sports Show with Vince D'Alicio. Live every Saturday morning from 9 to 11 a.m. here on KDUS AM 1060 and on the KDUS 1060 app.
Wrapping up today's edition of the show. And producer Evan, I've noticed something here today on the program.
What's that?
It's a very quiet day from Team Listener.
I was wondering that too. Not a lot in the chat.
No,
can I be honest with you?
Today.
Maybe I saw it a little late because sometimes I get a little distracted in here. I don't get to the YouTube chat.
I know what comment you're going to bring up.
I don't get the Darth Vader one.
So I looked at it with two different interpretations, and maybe we can decide which interpretation we want to take. Interpretation number one is your room and your camera is somewhat dark. Lit because you don't have the lights on in that room. But that's not the first time that you've been in that room with the lights on exactly the way that they are. But perhaps with the white hoodie and the dark light that they thought that you were just in like a layer of some kind. Now that's interpretation number one.
You know what I think it is?
Okay.
I feel like I'm always in black hoodies.
The second interpretation I thought was because you're the Phillies guy and you went to the game on Friday and they lost that game, that being the Diamondbacks. I thought there was maybe an interpretation there about. I'm stretching a little bit on both.
Yeah.
But that's the two that came to mind when I thought.
I want to be very clear. Darth Vader, I mean, they made 6 movies about the guy.
Yeah, it had a good run.
Great run.
Had a great run.
Great run. Similar to the D-backs and how they're going to finish this season. Great run.
Okay. See, that this is you in hour number one, I mentioned you're a polarizing figure among the listeners. It's for comments like that. That's what makes you a polarizing figure. You just have to take a little cheap shot at the Diamondbacks.
I didn't.
They beat your team 2 out of 3 over the weekend. You take a cheap shot.
I was rooting for them all weekend.
Yeah, because you have nothing to play for. So
I was gonna say, like, I was walking into Chase Field on Friday night. By the way, fireworks show tremendous after the game.
You stayed for the fireworks.
Stayed for the fireworks.
Oh, we got the answer. It's All Code says it's because Evan came to the realization that the Raiders are done. Oh, I get it. Raiders, silver and black, Death Star. I got it now. Thank you, It's All Code, for clearing that up.
So much more sense.
Better than both of the interpretations that I
Yes. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. The Raiders are done. They're done.
You can listen to the Raiders right here on KDUS AM 1060.
You can, where they are not done.
They're not
and
done.
they still have a bunch of games left
They're
to play.
Here. A bunch of games.
Yeah. Anyway, moving on to leftovers. Monday Night Football.
I mean, this is the leftovers. This is what we do. I mean, I know that there are
I know
stories, but this is kind of what the leftovers are. So I'm not.
Sometimes it's just us filling.
Yes. And I had a question about, you had a question about what It's All Code said. I had a question about team listener being pretty quiet today. So it's okay. What do you have in the leftovers?
Well, I got I have a fun fact and then an injury update. So 2 little stories and then a Monday Night Football. Figured we'd talk about what should be a pretty good game tonight in Baltimore. First, the Buccaneers, who are 3-0 for the first time under Todd Bowles, tie the NFL record for lowest point differential for a 3-0 start in NFL history.
Yeah, they've been winning with smoke and mirrors late. They have been kind of playing with their food a little bit, and they've had to pull the rabbit out of the hat. But they've done it for 3 straight weeks, and that's impressive because that builds confidence in a unit that no matter what the deficit is late, we can come back from it. And while I don't think you're always going to be able to do that, there is a confidence that comes with that can be very dangerous for other teams, not for the Bucs.
Some fun ones. So the Buccaneers have a +6 point differential. The Panthers have +9.
They're 1-2, aren't they?
Yes. Everybody in the NFC West has a larger point differential than the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
You know what? That's what they say about point differential.
It's the end all be all.
That's right.
That's what gets you in.
That's what gets you in.
Yeah. Next thing, Joey Bosa will be out for the rest of the year. Tore his ACL in Sunday's game.
Yeah, 2 major injuries in that game for both teams. Season-ending injury for the Cardinals with James Conner and his season-ending ankle injury that looks like it's going to require surgery, at least according to Adam Schefter. And then for the 49ers, they lose their best defender in Nick Bosa, who goes down with a torn ACL. So 49ers won the game, but both teams come out of it with a major injury that they're going to have to try to replace here the rest of the way.
Game of the week tonight, probably. Lions head to Baltimore to take on the Ravens on Monday Night Football. Baltimore's a 4.5 point favorite.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. This is a big one for the Ravens, right? The last primetime game they played didn't go well against Buffalo. Want to kind of get some revenge in that regard for the Lions. I do think there are some people that question if what they did last week was a one-time thing against the Bears, or if they'll be able to find that consistency again offensively in the post-Ben Johnson era. So 2 teams coming in with similar types of questions about them. Not surprised that the Ravens are favored because they're home, but should be one that has a lot of offense, should be high octane. Lamar is must-see TV. The Lions offense, when it's clicking, is must-see TV. So should be a lot of fun tonight for that one.
I imagine there's going to be a ton of points in this game.
What's the total?
I can find it here. Give me 2 seconds.
My guess is it's in the 50s. Without looking at it, I haven't looked.
Yeah, I haven't looked either. I want to say
real quick, it's hard for me to
53.5 is the total. That's high.
Yeah, but I'm not surprised with those 2 teams. I will say for the picks, like when we make the picks on Friday,
it's hard to take a total.
One, it's hard to take a total. 2, if I'll look at the Monday night game, the spread, and if I don't like it, I immediately just forget about the Monday night game. Like it leaves my memory until today when we talk about it again. So I haven't I'm sure I looked at the numbers when I looked for the picks on Friday, but I forgot everything about the game, the spread, the total.
It's also just weird taking a Monday night game in our pick segment because you come in and you still have points on the table after we come in and do our show Monday.
No one's done it yet. And by the way, it's open to the listeners.
It's certainly open. You can take I mean, if you want to call in on Thursday, I guess you could.
That's the one thing the team listener can't do.
It's the Thursday.
It's the Thursday game. We can take the Thursday game because we're on the show. The pick segment is on Friday, so you are limited to all the games on Sunday and Monday.
If you want to take the Thursday game, you got to get a job in radio.
Now, where it balances out is next week. There's 2 Monday games. So if you want to take a Monday game, you can take a Monday game.
The doubleheader.
The doubleheader.
Which game do you love over there?
Oh yeah, those are 2.
Jets at Dolphins. Miami's 2.5-point favorite to open.
That's
Bengals at Broncos. Denver's a 7.5.
You want to talk about 4 teams that get everybody going on a Monday?
Who do you love?
Those are the 4 I would pick. But team listener just can't pick Thursday. That's the rule because the pick segment is on Friday.
Yeah.
We can pick Thursday, and normally if we pick Thursday, we go late. Like it's last segment leftovers, we make a pick for Thursday. I'm telling you right now, just want to be on the record on Monday about this. I am not taking Thursday for the picks. I'm not touching that game at all.
I'll be honest, I've thought about the under.
It is a Thursday game, so that would be the place to lean.
43.5.
I won't do it. And I'll stick to it throughout the week. I will not be picking the Monday or the Thursday night game this week.
Who do you like tonight?
Like the Ravens tonight.
I think I agree with you.
The Ravens get to 2-1, and we're back talking about how great Lamar and this Baltimore offense is. That's going to do it for us. Jim Rome's coming up next. Producer Evan, thank you for all that you do. We're back again tomorrow. More on the Cardinals, and we get you ready for the Diamondbacks' final 6 games of the season. Everybody have a great rest of your Monday. We'll talk to you tomorrow. See you.
AM 1060 KDUS